KarmaKast. KarmaKast. Anyone karma's hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. Stones, classes, traits, and what to equip. Strategy melts, combos a hit. Teaching rookies on the streets. KarmaBot will give you a hint. KarmaKast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops, charting paths and breaking norms. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. Hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. KarmaKast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops, charting paths and breaking norms. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. New players gather to learn. Tactics sharp at every turn. Knowledge they all yearn. In the pit, heroes they'll burn. Karma's hosting fights, analyzing data through the night. The sundered islands realm in sight. If you take notes, learning you might. KarmaKast, the greatest show. Hero rising in the swarm. Pixel art, alpha drops, charting paths and breaking norms.
Welcome back everybody to the first episode of KarmaKast Season 2, the podcast, as you all know, where we talk everything about DefiKingdoms, live now from my new apartment. As some of you know, I had some struggles in streaming in the last couple of months. I had some wild shit going on in real life. Now everything is back, everything is mythic, baby. And we're here. And what was the best opportunity to bring back KarmaKast if not the announcement of a new Codex class release? Oh, this is something I'm so fucking stoked about it. Honestly, I couldn't wait for anything more than this. So, as you can see, I'm in Serendale right now. I'm obviously stamina potting my heroes because now I need more of these guys to get to level 20. Just to let you know, the live chat wasn't working because I set up something weird, but if you refresh the page from YouTube, it's gonna load. Now it should be working. You should be able to interact with this live stream. And here we go. As you can see on the screen, I'm leveling up. Knight is coming up pretty stock. It's a level 16 at the moment, generation 19, but that's something we don't care anymore about. You remember the time when it was weird to see something that was worse than generation 3 or 4 and everybody was like, oh, it costs so much to summon with it, why you have it, why? And then now generation 57, generation 62, people don't give a fuck about it anymore. So why I'm leveling up this guy? Because I had some experiences in PvP tournaments where I realized that a good thing is having a knight with second wind and heal. I tried to get last stand as well here, but it died as a trait. It didn't get even in the recessive, but at least I have second win. This guy is coming up pretty well. Level 16 has got already 50 vitality and has got nearly 1200 HP, so I hope that by level 20 I get around 1600. That would be great. Yeah, I have to bring up a bit dexterity because otherwise it's gonna be blind, but the main idea of this guy is getting beaten up and heal itself and heal the party. And then obviously I'm leveling up one of my monster wizards. Why? Because finally it's time for wizards, guys, which is mostly the main point of today's live stream. I'm planning to go through the class description of the wizard. We saw the announcement on Twitter lately, and we saw that there was that silhouette that they try to obscure in the post, but a lot of people try to lighten it up, and it's clearly a wizard what we see there. And so everybody's pretty stoked about it. I'm leveling up this bad boy here with speed and double giant slayer, and of course a greater withstone. He's coming up pretty nicely. He's level 7 and has got already 34 intelligence, has got a decent luck, decent wisdom, already 20 vitality, is not bad. The HP could be a bit higher, but we all know that this type of class will never have that much HP. But we know that it's gonna be a great DPS, great DPS. So, what I'm planning to do now is going through the class description of the wizard. Actually, I'm not gonna read everything for you guys because I'm pretty sure you all read this article already in 2023 when it came out 2 years ago. 220, yeah, more than 2 years ago, 2 years, 2 months ago, basically. But what we know about wizards is that they gonna have, as every other class, three main paths. One is gonna be pyromancy, which I'm gonna believe is some sort of high damaging class. Sorry, skill tree. The cryomancer, which is more related to nerfs, I believe. And the Arcanist, which is the most enigmatic of the wizards. They wield the power that is beyond comprehension. In fact, I don't understand it. They can erect protective barriers, cloak themselves, reaching to the mind of their enemies, shattering their wills and leaving them powerless to resist an incoming attack. I think this is more something more related to control, field control, than the other two classes. One is more damaging, one is more nerfing while damaging still, because it shoots eyes basically from what I understand. And then this one is gonna be more field control. Might be interesting even deploying more than one wizard at a time and see how do they work. So let's have a look together at the skills that we're gonna see coming up. I want to believe it's this week, guys. I don't want to believe it's next week. I want to believe it's this week. Also, one thing I wanna say before getting into this. Um, the release of the wizard is super important for the game because it's gonna introduce the arcane power mechanic, which is a mechanic that it's needed for some of the other classes as well. From what I understood, the Scholar will need the same arcane power. So if we're getting Wizard now, possibly we're gonna get Scholar pretty soon because it's there basically. It's based on the same mechanic. Hello Huffenstein, how are you doing? I hope that I really wished for you to be here. I don't know if you're too busy to come on stream, but I really wished for you to be here on stream with me. If it's not gonna be today, next week, next possibly Tuesday, let's set it up, let's organize, join me. So, level 1 skills, we have obviously one skill for each of these skill trees. The first one is the Firebolt for the Pyromancer, which has got a range of 3, so it means it's a range attack like any attack from an archer. Shoot a concentrate flame, which is for an ability called Firebolt is pretty intuitive. Deals magical damage to target enemy equal to X times spell, which I want to believe is gonna be 1, plus X time int, which I want to believe is gonna be 1, maximum 2. I don't know if it's gonna be as crazy as the archer. I personally believe it's gonna be crazier than the archer, with the downgrade that wizards will have less HP than archers. That's why that giant slayer trait might come in hand. Really impactful trait in this case. So X plus X intelligence score percent chance to apply a stack of burn to target with magical damage equal to X. And it's gonna generate a certain amount of charges for arcane power. So basically, what we've learned, well, if I was, yeah, next time we need to organize it up. Believe me, I'm waiting for you to come on stream since 10 years probably. So basically what I've understood from the arcane power, and this is something that Warcourse explained in his blog actually, and maybe if I have the possibility now I'm gonna go catch that. Arcane power is like a pool where you accumulate points and then you can unleash these points to power up some spells. That's what I've understood. So you consume mana to cast skills, but then each skill you cast is gonna make you accumulate charges of arcane power, and then when it's gonna be the time you want to unleash a certain spell powering it up, it's gonna deal much more damage if you do it using the arcane power. Also the burn mechanic, which is like poison basically, from what I understand, that deals X% damage that can get increased for every stack of burn that you apply. So I believe we're gonna get the burn potion pretty soon, or something that an anti-burn potion, because I mean once you get that, you need to get a potion for it for sure. Second skill is from the Cryomancer discipline is Frostbolt, always 3 of range. It's the same thing as the flame at the firebolt, with the difference that it applies a different effect, which is chill. So chill, from what I understood, slows down the opponent. It deals damage less than what burn deals, from my understanding, but at the same time it slows down the opponent, which is one of those effects that we at this point understood is really important on the battlefield, because you can move people down the timeline if you manage to slow them down. Third skill, I'm gonna try to go as fast as possible through all of this, because I know that there's a lot of skills, and I'm gonna obviously stop at level at the skill tier 5 skills, the one that we're gonna have now that we have only level 20 heroes. So raw arcana, protect your mind and to surround yourself in a productive mana zone to bide your time. Okay, activate to gain a poor barrier. So we have a poor barrier, which is like the word, the modified word that now we have with the seer, and that has got a certain percentage. He's back with a vengeance, baby. Need some catching up. Yeah, we need to have a chat with Dogre for sure, because I think that the guy has got a lot of stuff that should be brought into the battlefield as soon as possible. Activate to gain a poor barrier, okay, which is equal to X plus X wisdom, percentage of this hero's maximum HP, okay, and generate arcane power. If the target is already protected by any type of barrier, generate X additional charges of arcane power. This is really nice actually. I think this is gonna be used a lot. So you already can see how, in classic Dfk-Kingdom style, intelligence is the stat that works with damaging spells, while wisdom is the stat that works with healing and protective spells. It's exactly like the priest, it's exactly like the seer. But this combo that says that if the target has got already a barrier, this can be clearly combined easily with a multi-barrier from a priest, or with the skill, the artificer skill from the seer, the one that gives you the bubble automatically at the beginning of the game, and then you can cast this directly, which makes you generate additional charges of arcane power. Let's go to the level 2 skills. So we have Pyro Mastery, Cryo Mastery, and Arcane Mastery. So level 2 skills are masteries, basically. So these are passive skills for sure. Yes, exactly. These are passive skills. So if you get the Pyro one, all the Pyromancer abilities gain X times luck percentage, increased critical strike chance when dealing damage to targets that are inflicted with burn. Okay. And successful attacks generate X charges of arcane power. The cryo version of it does the same thing with the chill effect, while the arcane one, the zero gain resistance to silence equal to X plus X times wisdom. All successful arcane attacks generate X additional charges of arcane power. Of course, if the zero is already protected by any type of barrier at the beginning of its turn, generate, oh wow, this is crazy good. Guys, I believe that the arcane skill tree is a great setup for a big boom at the end, using your arcane power, because a lot of these skills can combo pretty easily. Now that I'm reading them again, that I know the game much more, respect when the first disc came out, I believe that it's pretty easy to combine this type of skills from the arcane tree with things from other classes that we have. Let's go to level 3. So finally, what everybody is here for, the fireball. So empower this skill by consuming X charges of arcane power, and we already see that how this starts to work. So the skill says deal magical damage. Bro. Yeah, man, I'm trying my best. Sometimes I listen to myself and I think, fucking hell, I sound so fucking Italian. And even if I put a lot of effort into it, because I would like to get it. I mean, I don't like when people is immediately recognize, you're Italian, because they can hear a broken English. Um, I have a story about this that I'm gonna tell you privately, because it's not something I can say on YouTube. But I'm trying to get to the point where people can think I'm not that I'm British, because I don't want to be British, but at least not get that I'm Italian immediately. So Firebolt says deal magical damage to target enemy equal to X times spell plus X time arcane power times intelligence. Okay, you need a calculator for this. If target is already inflicted with burn, deals X% increased magical damage. X plus X time intelligence. Thank you, mate. I try. Then in the general chat, I get told by some idiot that my English is not good. But let's not think about that. That's some bullshit. People missing verbs, using words that don't exist. Don't make me think about it. So, chance to apply a stack of burn with magical damage equal to X time intelligence. Um, Unlocks. So basically what we see here is that based on the amount of arcane power you decide to use, so it's not that you use the arcane power to cast something, stop, period. You choose how much arcane power you want to use, which is gonna be probably a fucking pain in the ass with the shot clock in tournaments, because it's gonna require you to decide so quickly how much you wanna use, how much you wanna spend of that arcane power, and you have only those 30 seconds, actually 20, otherwise you get the atrophy. And with wizards around that can do this type of damage, believe me, I think that you don't want that atrophy to stack up, because as soon as you get a 5% extra damage by atrophy, this thing is gonna one-shot you, a priest immediately, I'm sure of it. Or an archer. An archer can get one shot from a thing like this, I believe, especially if you put a lot of arcane power. So if you put a certain amount of arcane power, locks well below, okay. Chance to daze target enemy. When over X charges of arcane power, locks when below X AP charges. This I'm not sure I'm getting the meaning of this locks when below X AP charges. We should ask a workhorse for this. Can exhaust target enemy. So I want to believe that the fireball is not an area of effect spell, but is a single target spell, which is weird for a fireball because you want to expect it to explode basically. But I'm fine with it because otherwise it would be too OP. It's something that can daze, exhaust, and make a huge amount of damage, because consider that if you're putting three three arcane power into this and you have intelligence 70, is already 210 damage just because of the intelligence. Plus you can add on top the probable 2 times spell that is doing already, and spell with a wizard with intelligence 70, and one of the ones is gonna be around 110 120, is already 210 damage. Plus, this thing is gonna go easy to 500 damage, guys, just like that. And it's not a channeled ability, it's not written that it's a channeled ability anywhere, so this thing can become really a menace on the battlefield. Then we have Frost Pierce, which I believe is the ice version of the fireball at this point. In fact, it does the same amount of damage just based on chill, so I'm gonna go pretty quickly on this. And instead of applying daze and exhaust with the arcane power, it's gonna apply stack of chill, and it's gonna apply extra stack of chill. Okay, I don't know if they're gonna leave this like in this way. Probably the higher level is gonna apply slow, I want to believe, but I mean, let's see what they decide to do. Actually, what they decided, because if it's coming up this week, I think that most likely they already decided. So, arcane barrier. So we have more barriers. So basically, the arcane path is all based on barriers till now. So, activate to consume X charges of arcane power. All party members gain a poor barrier with HP equal to X plus X times arcane power times wisdom, percent of the zero maximum HP. Okay, so this is a huge barrier. And if you okay, this is even, Madonna man, this is even worse. All party members gain evasion. This effect refreshes, does not stack, okay. And if you use even more arcane power, all party members gain resistance to silence, fear, and confusion. Madonna mia. This thing is huge, guys. I think that if you put on the same in the same team a priest and a wizard, you might end up being OP. I think that this is gonna take the place of archers, 100% sure, guys. I already foresee the moment where everybody's gonna switch to double wizard priest, because this is gonna happen 100% sure. And at that point, knights are gonna become even more important, because knights and warriors actually, because they both have the power to silence. There's one skill for the warrior, I don't remember which one at the moment, that modifies the effect, I believe, of Warcry, adding the combo to Warcry that it can silence opponents. And I think that we're gonna see man, we're gonna see Warcry becoming all of a sudden a primary skills for warriors, because people will want to silence all the wizards around, otherwise, fucking hell, this can become too much. Skill level 4 Firestorm, so now we're going in the over OP skills. Empower this skill by consuming X charges of arcane power, and we know that. Okay, this is a channel skill. Okay, finally a channeled one. Deal magical damage to each enemy. Okay, this is the famous area of effect spell. Equal to X time arcane power times spell plus X time intelligence. Okay, this is ridiculous. This gonna be even more than the damage from the fireball. You can apply a stack of burn, and then it generates arcane power X charges per hit. Wow. So these spells can consume arcane power, but at the same time can generate it after. This is gonna be one of those things where you consume it but get it. This sounds so much Magic the Gathering style, where you enter in a combo and it can be a never-ending combo. Gain an additional X percent chance added to the initial application of burn. Okay, so this spell has got several unlocks with the arcane power. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a glass cannon. This is gonna be the glass cannon of the game for sure. Unlock X. So the second unlock is X plus AP plus X time intelligence percent chance to apply an additional stack of burn with a magical damage equal to X time intelligence to each hit target. And then you can even add fear. You can apply fear, which, as you know, guys, fear is that status effect that prevents people from using skills that inflict any physical damage. So this thing is gonna make the archers shut up. At the moment, we don't have many things in the game for the heroes, of course, that can inflict fear. Actually, I think probably just a couple of the new equipments can do that. But since when we're gonna start to be able to apply fear, archers are gonna be like, it's like you nerf them, because they're not gonna be able to use any of those skills that they have, which is crazy. Then we have Frost Lance, which empowers me, is the same thing, just okay, no, this is like the skill from the archer that goes through all the heroes, um, damaging targets in each of the positions. So probably this is gonna be like 2 times arcane power times spell. This is gonna be 1 time arcane power times spell, and this is gonna be half of arcane power times spell. Something like that, I want to believe. In fact, if blocked, the Frost Lance stops its trajectory, generate X charges of arcane power. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing as the piercing arrow from the archer. Basically works the same way. Just with the difference that you can consume the X charges of arcane power and make it even worse. And of course you can apply chill and chill, and if you, oh wow, this is crazy good. Read this one. If you used enough arcane power, the frost lance cannot be blocked, which is crazy good basically. And then at this level, level 4, there's mind break for the arcane path. Deal damage to target enemy equal to X times spell plus X time intelligence. Yo, Dad, you're here. So stoked that you're here. Mythic Squad, Dad. Yeah, I think it's not gonna be really a battle, half honestly, because from what I'm seeing here, the wizard is gonna have the ability to uh, put the archer in the condition of not being able to do anything. You will need barriers, you will need purification of some kind to remove fear. Otherwise your archer is not gonna be able to counter attack against the wizard. That's the problem. And if you get a quick wizard who's not gonna get one shot in one turn possibly, wow, that's gonna be, guys, that's gonna be threatening on the battlefield, honestly. So mind break, deal damage to target enemy. Okay, so um this is the first of the skills from the arcane way that is dealing damage. So it deals damage to target enemy equal to X times spell plus X time intelligence. Okay, generate X charges of arcane power. Fair enough. If target is inflicted with chill or burn, gain additional chance to deal X additional damage. This chance to confuse target enemy. Oh wow, look at this. Chance to amnesia a random target enemy skill for a duration of X. Okay, this is crazy cool, honestly. This is a crazy cool skill, guys. You put this on, and I mean, you can make people forget a skill for a certain amount of time, and that's gonna clearly change the game entirely. We're not used to anything like this. Then let's go to level 5. I'm gonna stop at level 5 because everything that comes after is just something we can dream about at the moment. But still. So, level 5, tier 5 skill from the Pyromancer is Pyroclast Explosion. So you can empower this skill by consuming X charges of arcane power, clearly. Channel for a duration of, okay, X time arcane power rounded up. So basically, the more arcane power you put in this skill, the longer it's gonna channel. This is really an understandable dynamic. It's fair. It's fair. Deals magical damage to each enemy, obviously, area of effect spell, to equal to X time arcane power times spell plus X time intelligence. X plus X time intelligence percent chance to apply a stack of burn. Okay, okay, as usual. For each enemy hit, generate X charges of arcane power. I'm having the feeling that with this type of skills, you keep accumulating arcane power. Even if you keep consuming it, you're keeping accumulating it, which is weird because you want to, I guess that the game wants you to consume this arcane power and then, I mean, to use it for the kaboom moment of the match. But instead, from what I'm reading, seems like you keep accumulating it whatsoever you're doing. So it's still the same thing. It says if target is inflicted with shield, gain chance to reduce the mana cost of this skill. Okay, that's cool. And then there is an unlock if chance to exhaust single random hit enemy, chance to fear a single random hit enemy. I mean, this is basically too much altogether if you think about it. Frost grip is the same thing. Okay, so the tier 5 skills, both the fire and the frost one, have the combo that is unlocked with the opposite effect. So for the pyro skill, you need the opponent to be chilled, chilling if it's beaver. And for the ice version of it, you need the opponent to be burning. If target is inflicted with burn, chance to reduce the mana cost of this skill. Deal magical damage to target enemy, of course, a lot. Okay, so this the ice version is a single target, while the fire version is to each enemy. Okay, this is this is interesting. But the okay, the okay, so with the first unlock you can apply stun. With the second unlock it becomes one small stone basically, because you hit both enemies in P1 and P2. Wow. The last skill, the reflective barrier. Yes, so basically 4 skills out of 5 for the arcane path are all barriers. Empower this skill by consuming arcane power. Of course, the HP of the poor barrier is equal to X time arcane power times spell plus X times wisdom plus X time vitality. Okay. The barrier lasts for a duration of X or until destroyed. While the barrier exists, all enemies' attacks are redirected to the poor barrier. Generate X charges of arcane power. I'm not understanding if... Yo, Kong, welcome. I'm not understanding if this barrier is applied on the wizard and then it's like a taunt where every attack is gonna go on this barrier, or what it is meant, because while the barrier exists all enemies attack are redirected to the poor barrier, but that's usually always like that. I think it's like you cast it and it's like interception probably, so you cast it on one of your guys and then all your attacks are going there absorbed. Cool, honestly cool. With the first unlock, percentage of damage the pool bearer receives is reflected amongst all enemies divided evenly. So basically it's gaining some sort of riposte in that way. And with the second unlock, a certain percentage of the damage the pool bearer receives is reflected among the... Okay, so an higher percentage of the damage that you receive is gonna bounce back at the opponent. This is actually cool, because basically I want to see archers doing what they do at the moment when a barrier like this gets applied, which of course is not gonna happen because you have this barrier on that is gonna bounce the damage back at them. Then you shoot a fireball, just like that. I think the meta is gonna shift a lot now. Yeah, obviously there's more skills. They're all those skills that we can never get. I mean, can never get. We will get one day when when we gonna get level 30 heroes, level 40 heroes. Up to that point, see Meteor. There's this Arcanolock, Overlord. Yeah, there's these skills that sound like the end of the world. And skill for level 15 is a passive. You are now master of the arcane. Find balance, don't waste it. For each enemy with an active stack of burn at the beginning of this turn, generate X charges of arcane power. Okay, so basically, when you reach a certain level, when the game is gonna reach a certain level, the wizards are gonna start to stack arcane power for free just because they are there, basically. Damn. Guys, I think that wizards are gonna become the meta. And I'm really sad that I didn't manage... No, what am I doing? I'm really sad that I didn't manage to get yet the rag of the apostoli, because the rag of the nameless, because that one is gonna turn wizards in fucking machines, death machines, because I don't know if you remember what does that light armor do, but it gives you a bit of evasion, it gives you higher critical strike chance, which already per se is something crazy. But then on top of that, you have to add the fact that it empowers your the damage that you deal with the spells and reduces the healing that you deal with the spells. Which of course, if you don't have any skill that heals, like in the case of the wizard that does only damage, that means that you're going to kick asses. Honestly, I'm really happy that this is happening. Not just because I have a collection of great wizards. Basically, my wallet is worse than Hogwarts. It's like I have. I mean, this one you see here. The Wizard Legionnaire with double Giant Slayer and speed is only one of the four mighty wizards that I have. I will have to level them up, all of them, which is gonna require a shit ton of stamina potions. So if anybody wants to make a deal selling me stamina potions for a fair price, I'm obviously all ears here. Um, yeah, I'm putting these three iteration just to complete this level up. Guys, I gotta say, this looks like something we're gonna suffer for a certain amount of time, honestly. And I don't know if we have yet in the meta anything that can actually take advantage of this. Let me go a second to Crystal Veil. I want to Tavern Hunts, whatever. So I want to check in a second a thing for you. Let me take a warrior, whichever it is. So skills. Is Warcry combo if punish was used. Okay. See, here we go. So if punish was used last turn, you have 30 plus 6 times the strength modifier percent chance to silence each target for one turn. Yes, I believe that we've seen Rapid Onslaught getting a nerf. We're gonna see Punish become a lot more used in the future. I tested it recently. I gotta be honest with you. I was playing with Dread Syndicate BC. We were trying some combinations. I was trying the Archer Double Warrior, and I was setting up for the Archer all those skills that can inflict bleed, and for the Warrior all the skills that take advantage of bleed. I realized that without an healer in the party, of course, against a party with an healer, I was getting kicked anyway because life the lifesteal skill that it gains is not enough. But still, consider that if you go with Punish can easily do 450 damage with one hit if you attack an opponent that is bleeding. And if you do Brutal Rend, I think no, it's not this that can cause bleed. Which one can cause bleed? Uh, yeah, Punish can cause bleed by itself. Okay, I get it. I think that if you use Punish and then you go with Warcry and you silence all the wizards, that can be already a nice counter. At least is one of the only two that I can think about at the moment, because the only other counter that I can think about is clearly using Iron Will with the skill from the knight that can cause silence. Basically, it's the only one I believe, because here you don't have anything. No, it's the only one. Let me see. Do the seer have anything that can cause this type of effect? I don't think the archer has got anything. The seer don't have anything because the oracle. No, the oracle just give haste. Okay, no, yes. But maybe Zerk has got something. Let me see. It's important to think about a counter move because we're getting something that is really threatening. Berserker Mark, Intimidate. Okay, no, 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 no. No, nothing. No, there is no silence effect here. At least not that I'm seeing it. Intimidate, but no silence. Okay, so at the moment the only two counters that we have in the game, obviously, if you don't want to consider putting a wizard versus a wizard, and I meaning the only way to silence a wizard at this point is the combo punish and then war cry with the warrior, or is going with the iron will from the knight, which make me believe that knights are getting more and more useful day after day. Um, I'm seeing that anyway, with the recent balance change, knights became a lot more useful, a lot more viable. Wow. Guys, I'm so stoked for this release. Finally, we absolutely needed the refresh of the meta with a new class. We needed to add some stuff. I'm really happy, honestly, and I really think this is gonna be a crazy good class. So prepare your wizards, guys, because from this, when is it? Wednesday that we get the release day. Let me check. Let me check. Announcement. DefiKingdoms. Announcement. Good release day was the 17th of April. So on Thursday, midnight on Thursday, midnight my time on Thursday. So yes, most likely we're gonna get it this Thursday, guys. And when that happens, I believe the is there a tournament on Thursday? Let's go check. Which level is gonna be? New tournaments. So this Thursday is gonna be the 24th. No, 23, 23, 24. There's one 24th at 4 a.m. Then it's gonna be 16 to 20. Must include Archer. Must include Archer, but it's gonna include the Wizard as well, for sure. And then there is a Patroller Limited at 4 as well. Damn, they're all so late at 4 a.m. I really want to participate, but at 4 a.m. how the fuck do I do that? Then there's one at 7, I will be working, 7:45 and 9. This one, the 25th, common to rare 4 to 6. I don't even have a wizard that is nice at level 6. Fuck. I hate these formats. It's really annoying, honestly. Then there's the consolation. Okay. Well, let's see. I believe we're gonna see wizard in this tournament, honestly. I hope so. I hope so. Well, guys, it's been nearly 50 minutes. We've been going through the Wizard Codex entirely, or at least entirely for the part that we will have access to now. I wanna thank you for joining me today, and I'm glad that finally I managed to bring KarmaKast back. I want to organize more and more episodes with more of you coming on stream. Today I had only my coffee cup as a co-host. Next time possibly it's gonna be half for Kong or Sticks or Ogre. I really hope it's gonna become something that we can do more often. Now that I have the place for myself and I don't have my ex-girlfriend sleeping there and complaining that it's late and I'm making noise, I can actually talk. So, well, I'm really glad you've been here with me, guys. I'm gonna definitely see you next week again, possibly again on Tuesday. And that said, Mythic Squad in the building, Karma's out.
Mythic Squad, united by a bond. There's no corner of the kingdom where we won't reach your soul. No opponent safe. With Mythic Squad, better run and go hide in a cave. Ultra's got the best pets, overroads every land. People will hunt you down. lost in the pit, selling ghouls like PNC. Rhyme tossed on bucks, keys, we're the kings of the seven seas. Mythic Squad, we will fly high with the wings of a dragonfly. Mystery turn gives us powers, meet us up in the office hours. 100 bucks with us, mate. Mythic swords in my hands, 91K. Thoughts guide us through the stages while we summon mythic sages. Dark nights, spellbound, crazy. Mythic Squad will remain for the ages. Mythic Squad, no, we'll never be banned. Not